Hello, my name is Brianna, and today we're going to talk about femcels. What was that? Stem cells? No, femcels. What? Incels? No, femcels. So my setup is a little different today. Not that it matters, but I'm here at my desk. Also, am I like too close? I feel like I'm too close. You don't want to be this close to me, right? I am also very distressed by how vampiric I look. Probably also didn't want to see those skin cells on my face. Skin cells? No, we're talking about femcels. People don't have to stop messaging me while I'm doing this video, okay? That's very rude. So what is a femcel? It's likely a term that I'm not gonna make assumptions about you. Have you heard of it? Let me know right now, stop the video, tell me what you think in the comments what a femcel is before I even say it. Here's the word, femcel, there you go. What do you think it is? Okay, did you put it? Awesome, let's go. So the word femcel is derived from the term incel, which means, according to Simple English Wikipedia, involuntary celibacy, which means being unable to get sex or a romantic partner. The or part is important here, I will discuss later, but that is Wikipedia's definition of an incel. So a little history on the subject. The term incel is usually used to describe men, but fun fact, it was indeed invented by a woman. So, according to nearly everywhere I looked on the internet, incel was originally coined by a woman only known as Alana. Somewhere in the mid-90s, when she started the website Alana's Involuntary Celibacy Project. Originally, she had shortened it to incel until somebody, rightfully so, pointed out how freaking awkward that was on the tongue, which then she turned to incel. Like maybe the person suggested incel and she was like, yeah, let's go with it. But at that point, the term incel was officially born. According to an interview that she did with BBC.com in 2018, the word incel used to mean anybody of any gender who is lonely, had never had sex, or who hadn't had a relationship in a long time. Sorry, a helicopter. So in the 20 years since then, the term incel has been mostly used to describe men who aren't able to find a sexual partner due to appearance, social awkwardness, and overall lack of game. But it also can refer to people who have disabilities that impact their social skills, such as autism or some type of disfigurement. Can we say that? Can I say disfigured in 2020? I don't know, I gotta keep up with these new PC terms. I would look it up, but I'm not that woke. So a femcel is basically just a female involuntary celibate, even though the term was originally invented by a female. So we're gonna dive into the world of femcels. What defines a femcel? Like at what point should a person be considered a femcel? Well, let's ask them. According to some response to what makes a femcel via the trufemcels Reddit. Yeah, so I just picked out some of the ones that I thought stood out. Bougie place. So I found these responses. It's women who don't want to be pumped and dumped by people and want meaningful relationships. It varies from person to person, but femcels generally are unattractive and or can't find a male partner. In essence, femcel can also simply mean desires a meaningful long-term relationship and does not have one. So, according to the definition from before, unable to get sex or a romantic partner. So that seems to fit the bill, right? Femcels have troubles finding a partner for many of the same reason as incels. Either they're not considered conventionally attractive, or they're socially awkward, or they have mental or physical disabilities that make finding a partner difficult. Some femcels are able to find casual sex partners, like to hook up with, but are unable to find like long-term romance, which is what they seem to be looking for, not just sex. This little part gets them into a bit of a sticky situation when it comes to their male counterparts, the incels, but I'm gonna get into that later. I do not know how to say Reddit names. It's like r/ and then like the chant. I don't know how to say it, but we're gonna just pop over to trufemcels and we're gonna just see what we can see over there, just to kind of give you more of an idea of what a femcel is, how that works and everything. Let's just pop over that for a second. I'm sorry if you're a British person and you hear me pop in and out of the British accent. It's just because I'm disrespectful as fuck. Cool, so as you can see, I'm over here on trufemcels. Okay, to the men who have just discovered the femcel sub, femcels please see note. Okay, oh man, it's long. Okay, I'm just gonna skim. It's quite simple. This moderated sub is a safe space for femcels. It is not for you. You have a plethora of outlets to pipe in with as a man. The women who come here come to vent, relax, and be free of your thoughts and input. I might have some disagreements on that. They can shitpost or be high-minded as they so please without interruption. As such, moids. Okay, so that's the first femcel, incel term that we're coming across. A moid, it just means a male humanoid. For incels, they call women foids, which is a female humanoid. As such, moids who insist on being here are visitors only. If you interrupt the tone of this wonderful safe space with your anecdotes, male-driven advice, insults, comments about your sexual preference, really any of your moid matters, you and your post will be removed. To the brigading incels in particular, absolutely no one here cares about your feelings on the usage of the term femcels. No one cares. So that's getting into a bit of what I was talking about, that relationship between incels and femcels. It's actually very it's interesting. I guess we pretty much get this, right? Oh goodness. Okay, here we go. Going on a summer holiday with a more attractive friend equals hell. First of all, let's go ahead and look at this over here, where it says the trufemcels is a community of the truest of femcels. Vent, dear sister. Chad, Stacy, and their incel friend Billy Betabuxx are never going to accept us. Feel free to rot now. So trufemcel rules. No moids allowed. Some places also said it's male android. No personal attacks. LARPer. I don't know what that means. I looked it up and no longer remember what LARPing means in this context. I know what LARPing is. It's live action role play. People like dressing up and like stuff like that. Non-femcel overreach. Using the femcel sub for non-femcel issues. Moid-led fake femcel sub users are banned on site. Whew. All right, let's look at this post actually, because that's what I came here for. Do you know that sinking feeling when you're in a social situation, but you're being ignored and it's like you don't even exist? I have to talk about this experience to someone who won't say I'm just jealous or a bad friend or I just have to try harder to be social. I once went on summer holiday with a friend that I guess would be considered a Becky. I had to put that question mark in there because it didn't start with a question. It's hard for me to objectively rate a friend. She's not beautiful, but she gets attention from moids. There's just so much I already want to say. So I guess she qualifies as a Becky. Anyway, she was newly single when we booked the holiday and she was online dating. When she suggested we use Tinder on holiday to meet drinking mates, I knew I was in for a miserable time. Once we were there, she kept checking on her phone, texting her most recent / interesting Tinder guy, talking blah, 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 blah. It got really bad when we or she started meeting guys around our age, local guys and other hotel guests. The night started out fun, going out for drinks, but eventually turned horrible. Like when we were sitting around a bunch of men and everyone was talking to her and 2 men were actively trying to get her to go to their room with them. She tried to include me by telling them she couldn't leave me alone. And instead of saying I could join, the chat said I sure wouldn't mind her leaving. She tried to include me by telling them she couldn't leave me alone because we had to get up early. And instead of saying that I could join, the Chad said I surely wouldn't mind her leaving. Whoa! Yikes. Obviously, I'm aware he wanted to have sex, but he didn't even bother pretending to tolerate my presence while talking. It was humiliating. The worst experience was when, after going out, we ran into guys we had met at the hotel before. She had made out with one of them. I was excluded from the conversation and she eventually got laid by one of them, leaving me in the awkward position of sitting around outside with someone who clearly didn't want to talk to me. I want to unpack that. I really do. I really want to just like, this is supposed to just be like introducing you to the world of femcels. I don't want to get into like that. So I'm gonna hold off on that. All right, so let's go out of that one. That was funny. Look at it. Yo, that's hilarious. I don't care what nobody says. Female solidarity is a myth. Women can be just as much, if not more, lookiest than men. Agreed, sister. Are you worried about aging and missing out? Oh my God, yes. Are you worried about aging and missing out? Because I'm crying about it every day. Skull. I just cope with it by living in my daydreams and in my perfect worlds. I'm so disconnected from this body and reality. My imaginations are way better than real life. I'm also trying to learn astral projection and lucid dreaming. LMAO. I feel the same. I basically rotted away for years behind four walls. I've given up on the world the way it gave up on me. Women lose value as they age. Femcels are already considered valueless when young, so at least we're not fighting against a ticking clock. Like, I really can't see it getting much worse. In my opinion, there's no reason to panic, just more time to figure out how to maximize happiness in our lives, however limited they might be. I never had anything while young, never changed since then, whatever. Also, I think it's slightly worse when you had friends, pair, fun in life before, but now you don't and can't do anything about it. I'm 22 and I think about it all the time. My friends have years of experience. Meanwhile, no one even looks at me. LMAO. I'm just trying to accept that it'll never happen for me so I don't get my hopes up. Sometimes, but then I remember Kim Kardashian is 40, and if I hold out and work hard, I can still do all right. That's not the first time I've heard somebody reference Kim Kardashian, and it concerns me. Y'all know she's not like a real person, right? You know she's not real. She's not real. Like, she's on par with Santa Claus. Like, I'm not even sure she actually exists. Yup, wasting my youth. I'll probably never look better than this, so it will only get worse with time. I've always wanted to do silly, cute, dumb things people usually do in their youth, but I'm missing out, and it makes me so incredibly sad that I'll never experience these really basic things. Like, damn, my looks really said I don't deserve happiness. Some of these are hitting in my soul. I just want to like comment on all of these. Like, you could do it, girl. Oh look, a meme. Anyone else relating hardcore? Oh no. You're fat and stupid and unlikable and bad at your job, and your exes were just using you and no one will ever love you. Yo, relatable. I'm the Saba girl. Someone made a post about me a while ago and I wanted to leave these communities, but here I am. So this is my story, what happened and why you should never ever trust guys. I started dating this Inkwell? I don't know what that is. In 2018, and he seemed nice. Incel, probably, right? And she's probably like, I don't know, is that like a banned word here? Before he actually cared about me and didn't care how I looked, and it was okay with the idea of marriage and having kids and seemed pretty rad. But all he did was wait for me to send nudes and share them with his Inkwell friends and laugh at me and mock my body. When I figured what he was doing, I broke up with him and got back together again. IDK why I did that. I was desperate and lonely, only for him to use me again. This time he posted my nudes everywhere with my docs. Okay, I know what doxing is, but she's using it like as a noun here and not like, I'm used to seeing doxing as a verb. So with my docs. And I heard from one of his friends how he said I was a 3 out of 10 and I expected men to like me, etc. Even though he claimed he was ugly and Inkwell. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the titles of these because I can't go into all of them, even though I'm sure they're all very fascinating. I went to the beach today and there were angel skulls everywhere. Why do I look like a witch what? And there were angel skulls everywhere. Why do I look like a witch while everyone else looks so beautiful? I'm guessing angel skulls are like beautiful women. What subs make you feel better about not having a boyfriend? For me, it's love after porn, sex, etc. I don't know how to read the Reddit names. IDK, heterosex, it's just gross and makes me sick the way people talk about it. Or any of those red pill subs. Or just reading how men talk about women when they're anonymous. It's what they really think. I'm tired of being alone. No guy has ever called me pretty, beautiful, and all that. I hear other girls, other Stacys and Beckys talk that I literally cannot relate in the slightest. My first thought was like, how old is she? Because if she's like 19, girl, when I was 19, I had never had a boyfriend either. I didn't get my first boyfriend until I was 25. Person says, I relate so much. At 28, I feel I've missed my chance. One person says, I'm about to turn 30 and same. I actually have a friend right now who's 27 who's never had a boyfriend. It's a lot more common than you think. So, you saw some of those posts from Trufemcels. I just want to go and give everybody there a hug. And then I want to like slap him in the face for being so dumb and like thinking that Instagram is real life. We all do it. We all do it. When I was 25 and I had never had a boyfriend in my life, I was like, what the f is wrong with me? Why does nobody like me? I know what that feels like. And then you just get with somebody and you're like, oh my God, this sucks. Being with somebody just to be with them kind of sucks. Is everybody doing this? Is everybody just dating somebody just because like they're there, and then you get with them and like you're not compatible and it sucks? So my next little section here, the next thing I want to talk about is femcels versus incels. As you saw in some of those previous posts, there is a bit of a disconnect there between femcels and incels. There is some conflict there. So you may be wondering, why don't all the femcels just get with the incels? To me, that's like saying like, oh, why doesn't this masculine lesbian woman just get with this feminine gay man? Because attraction doesn't work like that. I'm gonna show you this threaded. They should be called threadeds because they're Reddit threads. I'm gonna show you this Reddit thread to sum up the dynamic for you. Femcel who just got banned from femcel forums. So first of all, before I read this, I want to show you, this is posted on Incels Without Hate, a subreddit for people who have struggled to obtain sex and intimacy. We strictly forbid hate and want to provide a positive and helpful community. Okay, it's got 27,000 members. I like this person's name. It reminds me very much of the name I had on Tumblr. Remember Tumblr? Femcel who just got banned from femcel forums. So I don't know how this is going to be received, but I am a femcel. Honestly, I have an incel mentality, but as a girl, I feel like guys wouldn't have sex with me or give me any sort of attention that girls are so easily supposed to get. I'm not even sure what the true femcel board is about, because there are countless contradictions in that community and way too many entitled, bitter women on there. Since this is Incels Without Hate, I assume that maybe my perspective as a femcel will be more welcome here than anywhere else. Let's see what these comments say. Femcels don't exist. Vol femcels, however, do. And it says, I have a boyfriend, but I believe I'm very ugly, and that if I were single, I would be a femcel. JFL. I didn't see that. Maybe that this person removed it. What happened to your boyfriend? He's not as attractive as she believes a man worthy of her should be. So to her, he doesn't count. Jesus Christ, not another one. Your picture you posted, some people read these as they are. I'm not about to do that. Your picture you posted has horrible lighting and you can tell you're at least above average. Like others have said, go on Tinder and you'll have all the sex you could ask for. Hell, just go to a bar and see all the approaches you'll get. You're just another female who wants to get gassed up at the expense of actual incels while you wait for the perfect Chad. People like you prove why femcels don't exist. Just entitled females who want everything handed to them. First world issues. Are you kidding me? You're a woman. You're a woman. Go on Tinder, post pictures of your ass, and you will have 99 plus guys wanting to get with you. I'm wondering why this person put like 99 plus. Like, why was that the number? They were like, looks from women don't fucking matter. You obviously don't understand. If you're a human with a vagina that's 18 plus, you will get any man into you. The thing is, women have so extremely high standards that women will fuck elite tier men only. Hence why is ugly guys, this is terrible grammar. Hence why ugly guys remain as incels, or why women cry about being a femcel. I don't get what that means exactly, but you get it, right? You're delusional, your picture looks fine, most of us would fuck you. The real problem is, I'm sorry, it's just the way the person said it, like a matter of fact. Your picture looks fine, most of us will fuck you. The real problem is your ridiculous need for validation regarding your looks and calling yourself ugly. Actually, ugly people will detest you for this. It's like mocking them. So there are some things wrong with this post. Obviously, these people are responding to things that are no longer in the original post, which means that this person probably removed some stuff, like the fact that this person had a boyfriend and had their picture up here, or maybe I just don't know where to find that stuff. I don't know, man. I've never used Reddit before in my life. That's a brief summary. I'm sure you also heard it earlier. Incels and femcels do not like each other. They don't fucks with each other for two reasons. Number one being because they don't believe it's possible for females to be involuntarily celibate, because anyone will fuck a woman. And number two, because they're ugly. That's the funny thing. That's the second part. If it's one thing that I've learned about incels, is that they hate ugly bitches. Almost as much as they hate fine bitches who think they're ugly. Which, some more terminology, are called Stacys, by the way. Also, I kind of skipped over some terminology. I didn't explain what a Stacy, a Becky, or a Chad are. So a Stacy is basically a fine bitch. I'm gonna put it here. A Chad is a fine dude, Basically, the Chads fuck the Stacys and the Stacys fuck the Chads. And a Becky is an unattractive woman. Either probably like what, a 6 out of 10 or lower. Either average looks, or I won't say a Becky has to be considered ugly, but she's not considered attractive. Okay, so they also believe that the bottom 80% of men have to fight for the bottom 20% of females. So I gotta change how bright this is. I just feel so freaking white. There's nothing wrong with being white, of course. I just think I look too pale. People who are considered 9s and 10s would be the top 20%, and people I guess considered 1s and 2s would be the bottom 20%. They also believe that the bottom 80% of men have to fight for the bottom 20% of females. 10% of the males end up struggling for the bottom 10% of females, who only want the top 20% of males. Another incel argument is that all women want to fuck Chads, so all women want to fuck Channing Tatum. So it pretty much means all girls want guys that look like this, that look like these guys. Also, side note, I just typed in handsome guy into Google and I see a plethora of Caucasian faces, just a sea of Caucasian faces. Fix that, Google. Fix it. The race thing is also really important in incel culture. Basically, incels believe that all women want men that look like this guy. First of all, I do not think that's true. Obviously, there are plenty of people of varying levels of attractiveness out here banging each other and having children of various levels of attractiveness. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, because I'm sure this video is already long enough, is the future of femcels. Because I think we can surmise from all of this that they don't want to stay femcels forever, right? I found this post on trufemcels. There's also something called asktrufemcels. They have 99 members. There are guys who offer to meet any femcel. Why do you still claim that you are femcel? This makes you liars and appear very stupid because you don't accept the obvious solutions to your problem. So if somebody's saying, that's like saying you're hungry, why don't you eat this toxic mushroom? You don't have what? I just wish the grammar was better. You don't have to wipe your ass with a broken bottle in the past. No, you don't want to do it in the future. You are dealing with broken women with trust issues. They're not going to meet the first complete stranger on Reddit who puts his hand up and says, come meet me. He could be anybody. Yeah. I'm sure if they met a decent incel online who over time took a gentle approach and spoke to them decently instead of judging, condemning, and finger pointing, they would be more inclined to meet up. But you shoot yourself in the foot from the get-go if you come into their space guns blazing. Maybe reconsider your approach. So when sexually and romantically isolated men practice standards, could we please also acknowledge the fact that it's also because they don't want to eat toxic mushrooms either? And can we keep in mind before we start saying they're just choosy or volcel or fake cell or mental cell? Volcel is voluntary celibate. Fake cell is a fake incel, and mental cell, I think that's an incel that has like mental disabilities. I did a lot of research on this and I am proud. I love how incels are akin to shitty food. Fuck you, white knight cuck. Alright, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Femcels are like that because they refuse to go for anyone other than Chad, unlike incels who would kill for a 300-pound black girl with bad acne if she was attracted to them. First of all, whoa! That was too much for my soul. Woo. Wow. I like how it says former incel user as their name, but they would kill for a 300-pound black girl with bad acne. First, okay. I told you there is a racial component to all of this when it comes to the incel world. Less so for femcels, but incels, they don't want black girls. They prefer white girls and Asian girls. The other races are kind of somewhere in between, but black girls are like are definitely at the bottom. So yikes. Like, okay, so I guess I should mention like the 300-pound thing because that is fat phobic. Okay, so 2 of those are a sign of health, so I can understand. Certain things like acne in your weight could be an indicator of health, not like an actual indicator of health. Obviously you can have a face full of acne and still be a healthy person, but being black is not 100% not something that you can help. So that's a big fat yikes. Am I personally offended? Not really. I have no interest in fucking anybody that would talk like that. Like, you're immediately off of my fuck list. Should I say that? No, I said it. Yeah, I'm still reeling from that, man. Like a lot of this stuff I'm going over, I had already read, but I hadn't read that one. Okay, so this one is on Ask Trufemcels, which has more members than True Ask Femcels. What are your goals for the future? Do you have a 5-year plan? Doesn't have to be career or relationship based. What do you want to accomplish in the next year or 5? Personally, I want to finish my degree, find a decent paying job, and move out from home, and hopefully have at least one of my game or book ideas completed and published in the next 5 years. I'm really starting to lose my light source, and it's getting to the point where my window's open and it's like people down there are going to be able to see me. Probably already can. A lot of these women are really focused on education. This person says 5 year. Are you sure you won't die tomorrow? I won't waste the present scheduling the future. If I have time, maybe I will think what I will eat tomorrow. That's a little stupid though. You gotta have some type of plan. I get what they're trying to say though. The last thing I wanted to say, which I hope I can get out before my battery dies. Just looking at these forums, it just seems toxic as fuck, if I'm being completely honest. Like, just to go back over the stories, going on summer holiday with my more attractive friend, I feel like we've all been there. We've all been the unattractive friend. My first thought when I was reading it is I was like, oh my God, you know, that's exactly what it's like to be a black girl that goes to like an all white school when everybody is like thirsting on your white friends and then you're just like there. My first thought is like, dry your tears. I'm not gonna say that that's not a real issue. It is a real issue, right? I definitely think what everybody's going through is valid. When this person just says, I just cope with it by living my daydreams in my perfect world. I'm so disconnected from this body and reality that my imagination is way better than real life. I'm trying to learn astral projection and lucid dreaming. Why? Why are you doing that? That's a waste of your time. Why don't you go out there and do something? I relate so hard. I guess that's the thing too. Like the whole reason why I found out about this is because I love learning about incels. I don't know why. I guess because I feel so connected to what they're going through, but so disconnected because they hate me, both for being like black and also for being like a woman. And I was just like, is there a female version of this? And that's how I got here. And I was just so fascinated because it's exactly what I thought it would be, except, you know, worse. There's some productive things on here that I really like that every time you mock the appearance of a bad person, there's a good person with a similar appearance. I totally fucks with that. But the whole like reinforcing of like the terms like Moid and Stacy and Becky and Chad, I hate hearing people use those because I'm like, you're getting so caught up in this world instead of like trying to be productive about it. Like, be productive. If you feel like a femcel, how can you be productive about it? I wish this forum was about femcels giving advice to other femcels about how to not be femcels or things that they've discovered that worked for them, and maybe that's in there too, but I feel like it's a lot of them just agreeing with each other. There was one that I even found where it was like, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? And it was so many people in the comments saying like, oh, I would change my nose, I would change my face shape, I would change my chin, I would change my stuff like that. There was like maybe 1 or 2 people in there that would be like, I would change my personality. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, based on what I've seen, it just doesn't seem like a productive community. I see a lot of people just talking shit about themselves or shit about people around them. But that's the end of this video. Tell me, what do you think about femcels? Did you already know about femcels prior to watching this video? And based on what you saw here, what do you think about them now? Do you think that women can be involuntarily celibate, or do you think a woman can get sex from anywhere? Which, as I said before, the definition is somebody that cannot receive sex or a relationship, and a relationship is something that the opposite party has to agree to. Also, what advice would you have to give for femcels out there, women that are not considered conventionally attractive, women that are struggling to find a meaningful relationship or just a relationship with anybody? Let me know what you think about this topic below. Please remember to like my video so the algorithm can know that I exist and push my video out to more people. Please subscribe to my channel, that would be great. And you go on and have a wonderful, beautiful day. Go over to True Femcels and, like, I don't know, gas them up. Do it. That's it. I'm hungry, getting darker now, and at some point tonight I'm gonna find out who became the president of the United States. I'm not ready for it yet. I'm far more concerned about what I'm gonna eat for dinner than who's about to become the president. And that's a shame. Peace out.